All right, what's going on, everybody? French Fit back here with another video. We got a little bit of a training vid today. Currently warming up to do a little bit of acceleration work and then followed by a lower body lift. So normally wouldn't be sprinting at this time of the day. It's about high noon here in the DR, which means danger for your boy of getting the cancer, but had the day off from work, which is nice. So decided to sleep in a little bit. Usually I'm doing this bright and early in the morning, around 5 to 6 a.m. But here we are. So just getting prepped right here. I don't normally do, or at least I've been trying to do less just stretching in my preps and making my preps a little bit more efficient. But pretty much every time I do lower body or sprint, I will try to do some sort of 90-90 flow, followed by some hamstring stretching, some hamstring flossing, straight leg kicks, and then get into more of my specific prep work. So I'm gonna hit the rest of this, and then I'll probably catch you when I'm getting ready to do jumps or sprints, something a little bit more exciting than this. All right, so before I sprint, just did a little sprint prep, A marches, A series, stuff like that. Gonna hit some horizontal jumps before I head out to the field. So I'm just gonna go band resisted, broad jump here, 3 reps, and then into an unresisted broad jump, 2-fold, so a repeat jump with 2 reps continuous here. Hopefully that's still in frame. Just a band resisted here, nothing fancy. Again, horizontal projection matches up more with acceleration than it does top speed. So longer ground contact times, more horizontal forces. So I just pair them together like that. It's pretty common for most people to do it that way. Almost ate shit there. Now we'll do the 2-fold broad, unresisted. So just 2 jumps, continuous, trying to get as far as I can. Okay, so 3 sets of both of those jumps. Got me nice and warmed up, heading outside to the field. Obviously don't need to spend any more time in the sun than I have to, so I don't get the cancer. But on the docket today is gonna be some resisted sprints on the good old run rocket, AKA poor man's 1080. Probably short, just about 10 yards or so. And then either push-up sprints or just a regular 10-yard dash, which is gonna be highly dependent on if I can get the dasher to set up correctly in the sun. Probably just go straight 10-yard dash with a 1-yard lead. If I fail to do that, I will probably just do push-up sprints at 10 yards. All right, so tough luck with the dasher. For some reason, I haven't been able to get it going when it's directly in the sun. So probably just a user error, but is what it is. So gonna leave them up, but just do push-up sprints and I won't be able to time them. Just getting warmed up on the run rocket here. Just some more extended build-up type of things. Yeah, we'll get into it here. Probably do 3 to 4 sets of each, just 10-yard sprints on the run rocket, where I will be able to track the speed, however accurate that is, and then 3 to 4 push-up sprints at 10 yards, nothing crazy, kind of slowly building throughout the weeks. First rep here, gonna probably take about a minute rest or so between unresisted and resisted, or resisted and unresisted rather, and then between rounds, just 3 or 4 rounds, and that'll be it. Here we go, first rep, just going about 10 yards, see what I can get speed-wise. For context, I'd say 15 miles an hour in 10 yards is pretty solid for me. Who knows how accurate this thing is? And we're coming in at 15.2, so not bad. Take about a minute rest here before I hit this push-up sprint. I know some people kind of shit on push-up sprints because they're, old school or whatever. The reason I like them is because, one, if you're early in an off season and trying to introduce sprinting, is this fucking thing on? Trying to introduce sprinting and don't want to have it at super high velocities because you're working back into things, it does a good job of limiting that because you're on the ground. It's tough to go from a standstill, let alone being on the ground in a standstill, to get up to a top speed, especially in shorter distances. And When you're working acceleration, obviously you're looking for those more horizontal shapes, longer ground contact times. And when you get out of a push-up sprint, it kind of naturally forces you into that more horizontal position. Obviously, you're always gonna have people that pop up too early, like myself, but that's why I like them. Oh, fuck. Let's redo on that one. All right, probably just gonna overlay those last few sprints as I explain what I'm gonna do in my lift. So currently in a hypertrophy focused training block as I am a meathead. So I'm gonna be doing hypertrophy clusters, low handle trap bar deadlift today, 8 sets of 5. So in the first couple weeks of the program, followed by other miscellaneous accessory movements. Got some step ups for I think 3 sets of 10 each leg, some hamstring curls, some abs and like isos at the end. But yeah, I like hypertrophy clusters. I'm not sure if they're better than traditional hypertrophy training if your goal is the most hypertrophy, but I think for athletes, because you can still lift heavier weights and it's kind of that blend between strength and hypertrophy with the lighter or the lessened rest time and still accumulate a good amount of volume. I think that's good for that. But I still think more of the traditional hypertrophy training where you're doing 10, 12 plus reps per set, shit tons of time under tension. The metabolic stress that you're gonna get from that is just kind of unequaled, even with hypertrophy clusters. Could be wrong, but I think it's a good, blend, especially if you're trying to put on a little bit of muscle mass in the lower body, especially. Can still kind of bridge that gap between strength and hypertrophy. So yeah, we're gonna get into that, and yeah. All right, so 8x5 on trap bar, done. Did about 380 for the load. Took about 80% of my high handle trap bar max to be somewhat conservative. 3 sets of 10 each leg, kettlebell step ups. If I wasn't getting that metabolic stress from the sets of 5, damn sure gonna get it from the sets of 10. Gonna superset these with some prone hamstring curls for higher reps as well. Probably sets of 10 or 15 here. All right, gonna go ahead and finish up with some other random accessories. Like I said, some reverse hypers for high reps, giant set of hanging leg / knee raises, and some isos for the hamstrings and the quads. Just gonna overlay that. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Hopefully, if you didn't learn something, you at least enjoy watching me train. The pipe dream of being a relevant fitness YouTuber is still very much alive. Stay tuned for more training videos, talking head videos about random topics related to sport performance. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram at French_fit40. Tune into the Bev Boys podcast with me and my boy Brian. And thank you very much. We'll see you next time.